For people who may not know, what exactly is the Eastern Seaboard?
All right, so if you're looking at a map of Thailand, in the middle of the country, there's a big bay. It's the Gulf of Thailand, right? And if you're traveling south from Bangkok, is in the south central part of the country. Travel south from Bangkok 2 hours, you're going to run into the water. All right. Now, the two signposts that I would say demark the eastern seaboard, on one end is the port of Lam Chabang, which is just north of Pattaya, and it's one of the busiest deep water ports in the world. I think it's third or fourth only. It's like Singapore in terms of how many containers it moves. Huge industrial parks. And then down the coast, about 50 or 60 kilometers, is another major port called Mataput. It's an industrial port for like chemicals and oil and all of that. And everything in between is beautiful beaches. And that's the eastern seaboard. It runs about 60 or 70 kilometers. And the reason it gets separated as a section, if you will, is because it's been strategically important with Navy bases and air bases in over different war times. And also because of those ports, there's massive industrial estates near there that produce, like, every pickup truck in Asia is built in Thailand. All the frozen foods that are sold in all the grocery stores in Southeast Asia is processed in Thailand. I've never seen industrial parks this extensive. So that's why this gets labeled the Eastern Economic Corridor, the EEC, or the Eastern Seaboard. It's just a beltway, if you will, similar to what you find in the US on the Eastern Seaboard.
Sounds like a really important area for the country in more ways than one.
It's kind of the battery, and the Thai government's made it clear with infrastructure projects and lots of money coming in that this is the most important part of the country, and it's where they're focusing a lot of their infrastructure projects.
What about the expat community? So I know you mentioned there's a lot of domestic tourism coming to that area, and then probably quite a few people like you have been there for a few years. Um, I guess, where do most people hail from? What's the age demographics?
Okay, so it's a really diverse community here. Let me reverse engineer it. As an American, we're a minority. I'd say the 10% of, and that includes Canadians, 10% of expats are North Americans. So it's a really small amount. And there's a lot of Europeans, a lot of Scandies, Norwegians, Swedes, Danes, a lot of Germans, a lot of English, a lot of Aussies. And everybody kind of mixes together. I joke with somebody. They said, what's the difference between where you live now and when you lived back home? I said, okay, well, I open up my phone and I start looking at contacts. And before I get to the J's, I've got 15 countries represented. So it's a very international group here. And you asked me the age. I'm sorry. The age range is usually mid 40s up to retirement age. There's a lot of retirees, but because of the industrial parks, you've got a lot of real expats here with their families. Working for Kawasaki, working for Honda, somebody like that. So there's a lot of legitimate expatriates that are here working, along with lots of retirees and quite a few snowbirds that are from somewhere cold and they come here until it's warm again.
Canada probably, or maybe.
Oh, yeah, we do have a few Canadian geese here.
And do you find it's easy to meet people? You mentioned you're scrolling through your phone full of names. Is it easy to socialize?
Yeah, it's really easy because, like I said, people all mix together. Now, there's cliquish stuff. There's American bars and, Italian restaurants or whatever, but mostly people live in their little neighborhood. And then that's where, and then, everybody's got a swimming pool. Um, like where I live, I walk, if I want to see somebody, I'll wait till sundown because our sundowns here in Jomtien are excellent, right? The sunsets. And you go down to the beach and people are sitting around drinking some beer, somebody's playing the guitar, and you're like, and you get to know everybody in your little neighborhood. And so you end up knowing people from all over the place. It's pretty friendly here.